Did you know that a single move, made in your 60s, could cost you over $250,000? Not in moving fees, not in a bad investment, but in the slow, silent drain of choosing the wrong place to live out your years. It's a staggering thought. One decision, made with the best of intentions, can unravel decades of careful planning. This leads to a simple, yet profound question. Where you choose to spend your retirement, is it a sanctuary or a trap? This is the choice every single retiree faces, whether they know it or not. We often imagine retirement as a destination, a sunny beach, a quiet mountain town, a place seen in a travel magazine. But the reality is far more complex. It's a landscape of numbers, of healthcare access, of tax codes, and property values. So, how does one state become a haven while another becomes a hardship? The 2026 rankings are not based on opinion. They are built on a foundation of cold, hard data. Investigators gathered information across dozens of categories, each one a pillar of a successful retirement. They measured affordability by looking at the cost of living. They looked at home prices. They examined the tax burden placed upon retirees. A state that doesn't tax Social Security scores much higher. A state that doesn't tax pension income scores much higher. It's a simple act of respect for a lifetime of work. Small differences in tax policy can mean thousands of dollars back in your pocket each year. Then comes the most critical factor for many: healthcare. The study didn't just count hospitals. It looked deeper: doctors per capita, geriatric specialists per capita, dentists per capita. It assessed the quality of local hospitals. It assessed the cost of health insurance premiums. A state might have beautiful parks, but if the nearest top-tier cardiac center is a 4-hour drive away, that beauty comes with a serious risk. Access to quality, affordable care isn't a luxury in retirement. It is a fundamental necessity. It is the bedrock upon which all other plans are built. Well-being and quality of life were also put under the microscope. Safety, disaster risk, the number of other seniors, community services, senior centers, social opportunities. At the top of the 2026 list, you find the states that get it right: Iowa, Missouri, Delaware, West Virginia, Florida. They are not always the most glamorous. You may not see them on the cover of luxury travel magazines, but they offer something far more valuable: security. Iowa, for example, consistently ranks high because of its remarkably low cost of living and its exceptional healthcare system. A retiree's dollar simply goes further here. Housing is affordable, and the tax burden is manageable, giving people breathing room in their monthly budgets. Consider James, who moved to a small town in Missouri. He left a high-cost coastal city for a quiet life. His new home cost less than half of his old one. The property taxes were a fraction of what he used to pay. With the money he saved, he was able to travel and pursue hobbies he'd long put off. More importantly, his new town had a highly rated local clinic, and the state's low taxes on retirement income meant his pension felt larger than it had in years. He found friends at the local community center. He found peace. His choice wasn't about finding paradise. It was about finding stability. Florida remains a perennial favorite, but for reasons that go beyond the sunshine. While some coastal areas are expensive, the state as a whole has no state income tax. This is a massive draw for retirees. It means Social Security benefits, pension income, and withdrawals from IRAs and 401ks are not taxed at the state level. This single policy can save a retiree thousands of dollars a year. Combined with established infrastructure for seniors, it creates a powerful incentive. It's a state built, in many ways, for the business of retirement. At the other end of the spectrum, we find the states that make retirement a challenge. Places like California, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland land at the bottom of the 2026 list. These are often states of great beauty, culture, economic power. But for a retiree on a fixed income, that vibrancy can come at a crippling cost. The primary culprit is affordability. The cost of living, particularly housing, is among the highest in the nation. A modest home can consume a lifetime of savings, leaving little else for healthcare, travel, emergencies. Think of Clara. She had lived in her sunny California town for 40 years. She loved the ocean views and the familiar streets. But as she aged, Her property taxes, tied to the sky-high value of her home, kept rising. Her pension did not. When she needed a hip replacement at 72, she found the co-pays and deductibles were staggering. The nearest specialist was an hour's drive in traffic. The dream she had worked so hard for began to feel like a cage made of gold. She was house-rich but cash-poor, a prisoner of paradise. Taxes are another heavy burden. Unlike the leaders, many of the bottom-ranked states tax Social Security benefits and other forms of retirement income. A 5 or 6% state tax may seem small with a big salary, but on a fixed pension, it bites hard year after year. These states often have world-class hospitals. The problem is cost and access. High premiums and service costs mean even with Medicare, out-of-pocket expenses can be overwhelming, or the waiting list is months long. So, we are left with a stark reality. The state you choose for retirement can be the most important financial decision of your life. It can add years of calm and prosperity, or it can drain your savings and introduce a decade of stress. The difference between the top and the bottom is not just a few points. Thriving, merely surviving, a life of dignity, constant financial worry. The numbers tell a clear story, but the choice remains a human one. The greatest mistake is to choose with your heart and not with your head. Many people pick a place because it feels like a vacation, but you don't live on vacation. You live in a community. You live with a budget. You live with a body that will inevitably need more care. A warm climate is a wonderful thing, but it cannot pay your property taxes. A beautiful beach is a gift, but it cannot drive you to a doctor's appointment. The practical must outweigh the poetic. The final truth is simple. Your retirement is not just a pile of money. It is a life that you must build in a real place. The right state provides the foundation for that life. The wrong one can cause it to crumble. Therefore, the call to action is not just to read a list. It is to do the work. Visit your top choices. Not once, but multiple times. In different seasons. Talk to the people who live there. Ask about healthcare access. Investigate the tax code for retirees. Imagine your life there, not just on a sunny day, but on a day when you are sick, when you are lonely, or when you're worried about a bill. Ultimately, the best state to retire in is the one that fits your personal plan. It keeps you safe. It keeps you healthy. It keeps you financially sound. It is where your money lasts, where your health is protected, and where your days are filled with purpose, not anxiety. Do not leave this choice to chance. Do not follow a dream without first checking the price tag. Because the one strong takeaway is this: a successful retirement is not found, it is planned.